Hi everyone, it's Lee here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing a mixed media page for the Makers Creative Collab for 2024. So this one is the Makers Colour Combo for February 2024, and the three colours that we're allowed to use are chartreuse, turquoise and terracotta. You're also allowed to use black and white and a metallic colour if you like. This challenge originates from the Facebook group Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, which is run by Patricia and Mariah from PM Artist Studio. And this particular part of the challenge is organised by Kerry Griffith, so that's Kerry the Crafter, and Paula Keane. So they pick the colours and set the criteria for this particular challenge. So I will link the Facebook group and PM Artist Studio channel as well as Kerry's channel in my video description box for you. Now what you can see me doing here is looking through it's a visual arts diary. It's only a very cheap one, or inexpensive I should say, and what I'd done in it was stuck in some of my either runoff sheets or jelly prints. So I thought I might look through that and see if I could find one that I could build my mixed media page on. I saw this one and I loved it because the green background is very close to chartreuse, and I thought, well, I'm going to start here. So I don't have a terracotta paint, and I looked it up and you can make one apparently from a light brown and red. So I've got a light brown, which is transparent umber, and I've also got red there, cadmium red, so I'll make my terracotta out of that, and that's my other colours. And I have my black and white, and later on I will use a little bit of gold watercolour. So the first thing that I'm going to do is sort of sketch out a bit of a design, mainly so that I know where I'm going with this one, because I don't really have much of a plan at this point in time. So I've got a white Stabilo oil pencil there, so I'm going to use that to create a little bit of a plan. I'm going to have one flower sitting in a pot and the other one is going to be in a vase. So quickly sketch that out, and then I see this pencil on my desk, which is I think it's called Lumicolor, and it's like an oil based pencil, so it's permanent, it doesn't mix with water, and because I saw it and I picked it up, I just couldn't help myself. I had to go and outline all the petals. The design is a little bit confusing. I'm not sure where some petals end and some petals start on this one, but anyway, fudged my way through it. And what I'm going to do is paint in the flowers and the vases, or the vase and the pot, and then do a little bit of background painting. I'll also use some Posca pen to put some marks on there, do a bit of mark making. So I'm using that brown and red to make the terracotta colour, but I don't think it looks anything like terracotta. So I add a bit of white to it to lighten it up a bit. And I'm going to paint the pot in that colour. And then I was just about to do the vase in the same colour, and I had another thought. I thought, well, why do things the way you would be expected to do? Why not paint the flowers terracotta? So that's what I did, and I ended up painting the vase with turquoise. So I'm adding little bits of white and going back into the original mix to try and have a bit of a variety in those colours there. And I'll go back after I get the initial layer down and put some shadows. And I'm using a small round paintbrush to do this part, I think it's plenty big enough. I don't know the size of it. I'm not sure if it's on the brush at all, but it's probably about 1/4 of an inch across, or in diameter, I should say. So with acrylic paint, it always dries darker than it is when you first apply it. I'll leave this one to dry for a bit and then paint in this vase, and then I'll probably come back to the flower and add some highlights or lowlights. So just making, trying to, get the semblance of a bit of roundness to the vase with my brush strokes and the colours that I'm using, so the shades. I really like expressive paint marks in my paintings. I'm not into blending. I like to see the paint marks. I like everything to be really, there's a word for it. What is it? It's painterly. That's the one. So yeah, you can actually see the brush strokes. I want to paint those leaves green, so the best way to make the green paint stand out is to actually paint them white first and then paint over the white with the green. So it's a very yellowy green, and yellow won't play nice unless it's got white underneath it. So as this is a yellowy green, it has a lot of the qualities of a yellow paint in that it's quite transparent and it doesn't like to be on top of other colours. So I'm just using the black to outline a couple of areas, and now I'm on to the second flower. I'm just going to go in and put all the dark areas in first, and then go back and put the middle colours in. And I'm not trying to make this look realistic. It's not realistic at all. I suppose it would be bordering on abstract, but it's closer to impressionistic would be the style, I'd say. But it is a mixed media piece of art, not as much as a painting. Now I've just mixed the green and the turquoise and a bit of white together, and I'm just adding some vertical strokes into the background to boost up the colour at the back there, and some more highlights on the vase. A technique I like to do is to paint in around the edge of an object, and you always seem to get like a little bit of a ghosting. It's a bit like, when you draw something and then colour it in and then outline it again. It just gives it a little bit more depth. And it's something that I've always liked and I've always been attracted to, but haven't always done it in my own artwork. But I do like to do it when I think to do it. So now I'm just going back with that terracotta colour and giving these petals a little bit of shape and popping a highlight on the top of the petals. Just trying to make everything pop a little bit from the page. This is black paint, and I'm just doing a little bit of mark making with that same brush. So just a few dashes and some circles and some dots. And I've got that white Stabilo oil pencil again. I'm just going around the some of the edges. And now I've got my big chunky Posca pen and just putting some dashes in a few different places on the edge of the painting or the artwork. And I've done those little marks there. And my intention was to put stalks on them to make them look like they're little flowery things growing. But I actually forgot to put the stalks in, and I added them on a bit later on. I also added like white circle with Posca around those black marks that I put on just a moment ago. So this is that Lumicolor pencil, permanent pencil. I'm just using it to add another little shadow around the edge of those flowers. If you're enjoying this video, please do me a big favour and hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget you can share the video with your family and friends. It'd be lovely if you left a comment. Love to read the comments and always answer them all. And if you're going to do those things, you may as well subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because that doesn't cost you anything to do either. Just click that button. That's all you got to do. So now it's time for some gold spatters. So I'm using watercolor paint, but this first one that I chose, it's too light, so I pension that one off and get a different color and get some more visible spatters on with this one. And just to finish off the page, I just put a wobbly border along the top and the bottom with that Posca pen, the big chunky one. And then at the top and the bottom I just do a little bit of writing. So I put the colours down the bottom that we were using, and up the top I just wrote the name of the challenge, and I misspelt turquoise and went back and had to change that. The Stabilo oil pencil, marvellous for doing that sort of thing. And I think there should be another E in chartreuse. So that's my finished mixed media page for Maker's colour combo for Feb 2024. So that's for Maker's Creative Collab 2024 from PM Artist Studio. So until next time, stay creative. Hugs and cheers from Australia. Hooroo. So this is actually the painting with the extra bits of white on it.